edition of Chop It Up alongside the shooter, Jimmy Acevedo. I'm Eddie Castro, and we have a big NBA edition of Chop It Up for you guys. What an amazing week it was. Unbelievable. Crazy. Saturday night in Brooklyn into Sunday at Madison Square Garden. Jimmy,
unbelievable.
What did we just saw?
We just seen the reincarnation of the dunk contest. That's what we saw. What that boy Levine did, the show, the spectacle he put on that Saturday night. This is my reaction. I haven't felt like that about a dunk contest since Vince Carter.
It was an amazing performance by Levine, the Minnesota young guard, 19 years old, and he basically shook up the entire borough of Brooklyn with his performance. And let's not forget about Victor Oladipo. Oladipo had an amazing performance with that 540 dunk.
The entrance.
You know, the entrance was pretty creative too with the
entrance. New York.
You know.
New York.
Paying homage to the fans there in Brooklyn as well as Frank Sinatra. And it was just an amazing show. And for the first time since 2000, as Jimmy reiterated on, I think it's safe to say that the dunk contest has indeed arrived, starting with Mr. Levine.
Yeah, he did. And I can't. You know, he said that wasn't all he had in his arsenal. He had more dunks. He had about 4 more dunks to show. I mean, if those, I can't wait till next year. I wish I had a time portal, press the damn button all the way to February of 2016, because that boy got me thirsty for the next dunk contest next year in Toronto. I can't wait. I cannot wait.
All-Star game will be next year in Toronto, and Levine will be defending this title, as he said in an interview with David Aldridge.
But let's not leave out Stephen Curry. The man proved he's the best shooter in the league.
The 3-point contest was, in my opinion, was the best event of our All-Star weekend. You had 7 3-point shooters that are currently in the top 10 in 3-point percentage this year, and boy, did they give us a show, starting with Stephen Curry.
Oh yeah, he did, man. He made what? He went 13. He hit 13 in a row before he missed his last money ball.
Yes,
13.
Second round, Stephen Curry had 27 points.
And that man, the stroke. Couldn't
poetry in motion. The guy was like hotter than a fox in a forest fire. That was unbelievable. Unbelievable performance. Kyle Korver, Klay Thompson, just to name a few. 3-point contest was the very best. And it seems like New York just brought out the best out of all the participants in this year's All-Star Game festivities.
Also, let's not forget about Chris Bosh's team when they did the shooting challenge.
The skills challenge. Chris Bosh, along with Dominique Wilkins, and
I think the skills challenge was the point guards.
Point guards?
The rising.
No, that's the
challenge with the 3 teams.
Yeah,
I can't get it right now. And I apologize.
So much stuff to go over.
But that team, that's what 3 years in a row already. They can't stop it. Chris Bosh, it's like his shot is getting better every year.
Truly is.
You know, this shows you, 3 was a crowd. Three's company. The last 4 years that LeBron was over there. Chris Bosh was an odd man out. And this man is a star, man. He's a bona fide star. $127 million, way too much money for him. But he's earning them. He's trying to earn that each and every penny, man. You can't knock him for not trying, because that man is doing his thing this year, man. So congratulations out there to Chris Bosh's team. 3 years ago.
Dominique Wilkins and New York Liberty's forward Swin Cash. Definitely.
Let's talk about the breaking news that just happened.
Yes,
right now, It's about 12 o'clock right now. You guys will be seeing this tomorrow afternoon. It just went down that Amari Stoudemire and the New York Knicks has agreed to a buyout, meaning that Amari Stoudemire is a free agent now. And there's 3 top teams that's fighting for his services or buying for his services as soon as he gets available out there in the open market. Those teams are the Dallas Mavericks, the San Antonio Spurs, and the Golden State Warriors. Which one of those 3 teams would be a best fit for Amari? What you think?
Well, you gotta look at the favorite. The favorite seem to be Dallas, but the smart move in terms of player productivity, you gotta go with Golden State. And Golden State needs another big man. You can't always depend on Draymond Green and Andrew Bogut. Andrew Bogut has been injury prone since he landed in Golden State, along with David Lee, who can be consistent when healthy, but the injuries have gotten up to him. Amari Stoudemire, I think, will fit in a hole perfectly for what Golden State needs and what they're trying to do this year. I think he'll be a solid fit with Golden State.
I mean, I could see him going to Coach Pop in San Antonio. You know, as soon as he got out of Phoenix, the main reason why Phoenix didn't re-sign him and didn't give him the max contract was because his knees his knees was a ticking time bomb. You know, he had a full prior to that last year of the contract. The medical staff in Phoenix diagnosed him that his knees will give you a year and a half more of great basketball, and that medical staff in Phoenix was 100% correct. Because after that first year was fantastic for Amari. MVP candidate. He was averaging over 25 a game. After that,
everything just seemed to went downhill. Which begs the question: does Amari Stoudemire have enough in his knees? Because lately, let's just be straight. Lately, all he's been doing is taking wine baths and giving interviews.
Oh man, I think he definitely has something to offer to these playoff teams coming up. Because why I see him as a perfect fit in San Antonio. Coach Pop knows how to work veteran players. He knows how to work aged players. He knows how to rest them. A la Tim Duncan, Manu Ginobili, Tony Parker, who is it? You know, the healthiest kid on there. He gets his nicks here and there. But Coach Pop, remember a couple of years ago, that game against Miami, televised game? He sent his 3 stars home to San Antonio. He sent Duncan, Parker, and Ginobili back to San Antonio, and he got fined for that.
And there was a 4th person. He did also sit down Danny Green as well.
Yeah, but that goes to show that he knows how to, he knows how to save his players for when it matters, and when it matters is when it's time to go for that Larry O'Brien trophy.
Coach Pop gets a lot of scrutiny on how he deals with things and how he handles things. But the fact of the matter is, he's been doing it for so long. He's arguably the best current coach in the NBA today. The man knows what he's doing, and he's doing a good job at what he does. Plain and simple.
So that's why I think Amari would be a perfect fit over there, because he will know how to manage Amari's minutes. He will know how to use Amari, and he will know how to save Amari.
And for those New York fans out there, we got to go on record saying that this shouldn't be a surprise. There was a report that came early during the week that Amari Stoudemire was indeed going to use this All-Star weekend to decide whether to remain with the Knicks or exceed a buyout, which it has been reported, this is breaking news, that Amari Stoudemire will no longer be a member of the New York Knicks. And the reason why this decision plagued on him so much is because of his loyalty with the Knicks owner, James Dolan.
I don't forget his loyalty with Carmelo, too, because when Carmelo came over here, they had a goal, and that goal was to bring a championship to New York. Unfortunately, that went down the toilet, and we just got to rebuild, and you just see what's going to happen for next year.
Another player that looks to be returning to the court will be the free agent guard, Ray Allen. There's a lot of... Anybody can use Ray Allen. The Warriors seem to be interested, and as well as Cleveland Cavaliers should be interested in Allen's services. if Allen does come back, because he's still contemplating whether to come back or retirement, which one of those teams will be a suit for Ray Allen?
Oh, who we want to say? We got the Cleveland Cavaliers, and who else we got?
The Warriors.
The Golden State Warriors. Golden State definitely out the question, and I'm gonna tell you this because he did an interview earlier this morning, Ray Allen, and in the interview he said if he's gonna come back, he wants to play. He don't want to be one of those guys that, oh, that's a good name we signed. Let's just keep him for notoriety. You know what I'm saying? That's a known name, so we can sign him and boom, keep him on the bench. He don't want to sit on the bench. He wants to contribute and he wants to help. And he said if he can't do that, he's not gonna return to the court.
And listen, let's not get confused with this. You know, I've read a lot of reports that, you know, Ray Allen is being quote unquote arrogant. I think that is being a little bit blown out of proportion. Ray Allen is a very humble guy, and he's always been that way since he's gotten in the league. And he just wants to be in a situation where it will be a championship caliber team, and he wants to be in the right situation where he can actually contribute to a team.
He don't want to seem like he don't want to look like that washed up player holding on to the last hope, just sitting on the bench, just warming up a seat. He don't want to do that, and he made it very clear. So it's still a 50-50 if he's gonna come back. I'm not sure. Will he be a help? Hell yeah. Why is not a good fit in Golden State? Look who you got coming off the bench in Golden State. Andre Iguodala, David Lee. You know, those are two starters right there. They could be starters in any other team in the NBA. And they're going to eat up minutes along with Stephen and Klay.
Well, you also got to put it into play. If you know Stephen Curry and Klay Thompson are going to lie in a lot of minutes, you are going to want to rest those players down the stretch, especially towards the playoffs. What better person to bring into Ray Allen who could log in about, let's say, 8 to 10 minutes and give a breather for Curry and Thompson?
You don't want to log in 8 to 10 minutes. You want to play 15. At least 12 to 15 minutes. He wants to help. I mean, you're playing 8 minutes a game. That's not even a quarter.
Well, I'm just going on a limb here. That's
going against what he wants to do. He said he wants to help. He wants to contribute.
He wants to be productive, and he also wants to be in a championship caliber team. As we reach the half point of the season, the Warriors do have that championship look. It is yet to be seen whether that second half, whether they'll be able to do what they have been doing with a record of 42-9, which is currently the best record in the NBA.
We'll see if it's a fluke or not.
All right, well, that will do it for Saturday. Now on to Sunday night, the All-Star game at Madison Square Garden. The first All-Star game in 17 years, 1998, where Michael Jordan stole the show, and it seemed to be what was the rebirth of Kobe Bryant. So let's talk about the 64th annual All-Star game.
What a game. What a showing Russell Westbrook did. What he did tonight, that man, that's why I say he's the most athletic point guard in the league. The most athletic. This boy could jump out of a gym. You know what I'm saying? And the performance he showed tonight, I think he tried so hard to not, because everybody always say Kevin Durant number 1, Russell Westbrook number 2. This is why I think Oklahoma City will never win a championship with those two guys. Both they want to be number 1. They both want to be that number 1 player.
Right.
And you have to you gotta know when to take a back seat, man. Sometimes, you know? And Russell don't want to hear that. And who blames him with the talents that this kid has, which he displayed tonight. But I don't want to. That's a different topic for another day. We're gonna talk about what he did tonight. This man almost broke Will Chamberlain's record. He almost broke Will Chamberlain's record of 43 points a game in an All-Star game. He scored 42.
Just 1 point away.
42 tonight. And he took the MVP honors. Stephen Curry. The dribble, his hands. This guy's hands is sick.
Stephen Curry is a genie with the ball.
Oh,
unbelievable.
Man. Listen. Unbelievable. And What do you think about like how the game went tonight? Like with the high scoring offenses, because it's like every year the points are being higher and higher and higher.
Well, that's the best thing about an All-Star game. It's
said-
supposed to be no defense. It's supposed to be an offensive juggernaut show. It's supposed to be an entertaining show, which leads to the fourth quarter where things get tight and players start to press, and that's when you see the defense come and the competitive nature of the athletes. That's what an All-Star game is about.
I didn't mention one thing. I'm sorry. Back to Russell Westbrook real fast. This man, he set another. It was a night of records, by the way. Records that was broken or tied. You know, we mentioned the Chamberlain record that Russell almost broke tonight by 1 point. Well, 2 points is one's a tie to the break, so whatever. How you want to do it? He broke the first half record for points with 27. He had 27 points in the first half. That's a record. 165 combined first half points. That's another record. They tied both teams combined 163. That tied the record for the first half in both teams, the East and the West. 321 points combined for the whole game. It's a record combined with the two teams. And this is the most astonishing one. This is why the league is growing year by year with live and die by the three.
There you go.
68 for 133 and 3 points tonight, and 3-pointers tonight.
A la Kyle Korver, what about?
That's over 50%. Over 50% in 3-point field goal. The field goal percentage tonight for threes, over 50% with both teams combined. It's like it's becoming like the Pro Bowl. No defense whatsoever. What do you think about that? As you you could just players went through the lane unguarded. Like, is it fun for you to watch it, or you want to watch competitive basketball where it might be a chance for injury, but it's competitiveness?
Well, you know what? It's two perspectives to look at this. And before I address that, I'm not going to go and say that it is going to be as dreadful as the Pro Bowl is. But that's another conversation for another time on another episode of Chop It Up. But the nature of the All-Star Game is to give back to the fans who support basketball the entire year. It's entertainment. All the stars come out to show up. All the celebrities come out to show up. It's a fun game with a little bit of defense and a lot of offense. And then the competitive nature comes out in the fourth quarter.
It did get
that's what the All-Star Game is about.
In the fourth quarter, it got competitive. It did get a little competitive.
And that's what it's all about.
But I want to see it all 4 quarters, bro. I was watching the game tonight. The first 3 quarters, I was getting sleepy, man. I dozed off to my phone, to my laptop, because it wasn't like I wasn't. The game was close in score, but just seeing come on, Russell Westbrook and James Harden went straight to the lane with a dunk without being guarded, man. This guy's taking 3-pointers. The 3-point line is right here. They shooting from right here. It was more like us shooting around in the basketball court in the hood, man. That's what it was, and I lost interest. I lost interest till the fourth quarter when they was playing defense a little bit,
I thought it was a pretty good game. Every year it will be improved, but I thought it was a pretty game. It was a fun game, and it couldn't happen in any place in the world that happened in Brooklyn and in the world's most famous city, the Mecca of basketball, Madison Square Garden. And let's not give credit to James Harden. James Harden had a magnificent performance, and he has proven why he is leading the NBA in scoring right now. So let's change it up a little bit. We got the Atlanta Hawks. It's the best record in the East.
Yeah.
And you got the Golden State Warrior, the best team in the West.
Uh-huh.
Both coaches are from the Popovich tree.
Okay.
You had to pick one team.
Well, not Kerr. Kerr was a player. Kerr was a player for Pop.
Oh, you learned a lot.
You learned
a lot from Popovich.
Yeah, but he just came off the
Who's
the announcing booth.
Who's the general manager for Atlanta?
Who's the general manager for Atlanta?
Yeah, Danny Ferry.
Danny Ferry, yeah.
Danny Ferry. You learned a lot from Popovich. So, question is, what team If you had to pick one team to go to the finals that you see in the finals, who would it be?
I don't see both of them at all in the finals. But
Really?
Yeah, I do. I don't see it because. All right.
But if you had a big one, if you had a big one.
Listen, till the day I see a team get to the finals on the way that Golden State plays, they live and die by that 3-ball, bro. They play a little defense, but they live and die by that 3-ball. And Klay Thompson and Stephen Curry has been having incredible first halves just to get where they at as the number 1 seed in the West. I'm not saying they're a fluke. They're a great team. Don't get me wrong, man.
Right.
Great team. But till I see a team make it to the finals with that style of offense, I can't go with them because each team. Look at the Phoenix Suns. Perfect example.
Yeah.
Years ago with what's that coach name? Mike D'Antoni. Gunning threes. You know, they got threes up tempo. They made it to the Western Conference Finals, but they got dropped. Why? Because you live and you die by that 3-ball. You off by that 3-ball, you're dying because that means you don't have a post game. You don't have shoot from 20. You only gonna shoot from 30. You live and die by that 3. So that's why I say till I see a team make it to the finals with that style of offense, I'm gonna have to not go with the Warriors to the finals. As far as the Hawks are concerned, I think the Cavaliers are picking up steam right now. They're gelling. Kevin Love, Kyrie, and LeBron are gelling. And they won 16 of their last 20 games, if I'm not mistaken. No, I'm sorry, 14 of their last 16.
Yes.
They won. And, they just picking up steam, man. And Atlanta gets out the first round. Easy. Because the Eastern Conference, the last 3 seeds, 6, 7, and 8. Exactly. That's what I got to say about that. Man, depending on who they get in the second round, they might get tough competition in the second round. But I think they're going to meet their demise in the conference championship when they see the Cavaliers. If they don't see the Cavaliers in the second round, depending on the seeding, you know? But if you ask me which of those 2 teams have the better chance of getting to the finals, Atlanta.
I'm going to go with Atlanta as well. I think Atlanta has tremendous upside. And not to mention these players with Millsap and Horford and Jeff Teague, who's having his best year as a pro this year. They've had a couple years together to learn how to play with each other and to adapt with each other. You know, they played outstanding basketball. They have tremendous depth. And they play tremendous defense. Whereas opposed to the Warriors, you know, we all know about the Splash Brothers. We all know that they can come up and down the court in like 3.5 seconds and hit like 10 points in like 4 seconds. We all know how good and how tremendous that can be. But in a final standpoint, it all comes down to defense. And not to be kind of cliche, but defense do win championships. And I think if I had to pick one, I would have to go with the Atlanta Hawks based on the experience that team has within each other.
Man.
And another stat, Atlanta since November 26th are 36-6. So they're doing a lot themselves.
Yeah, but that East, come on. I mean, East is kind of
there's everybody's weak in the East. But if I had to go outside the book, I would go Chicago.
Hey.
I think Joakim Noah, it's finally healthy. Derrick Rose seems to be showing that MVP year, Derrick Rose, which we've been begging. And if he's right, and if Joakim Noah is right, Chicago could be looking very dangerous. You know, Pau Gasol is having his best year as a pro. You must have had the Fountain of Youth. I'm going to have that myself.
I'm going to tell you a team to look out for. Oklahoma City. Now, I'm going on a limb right here. If Oklahoma City gets the number 8 seed and ends up facing the Golden State Warriors, bye-bye Golden State.
Wow.
Bye-bye Golden State. Bye-bye Golden State. Kevin Durant's getting healthier. With the performance Westbrook put on tonight, look what he did. You know? Like, don't get me wrong, it's not like I'm contradicting myself saying in the beginning of the show I said that they're not going to mesh together and win a championship ever. But they can do damage. And for a team that's inexperienced like Golden State to face a team like OKC, I don't want to face OKC if I'm the number one seed. Knowing what they got to the table. The only reason they have the playoffs right now is because for the majority of the year, KD and Westbrook was out. If Westbrook was out, KD was in. When Westbrook was in, KD was out. You know, like they haven't played together many games this year till now. And with the second half happening, with 25 games left, dude, watch out. The race for that AC. I'm not sure how great that number one seed is in the West. I'll tell you that much. And who knows? You can say the West is the Wild Wild West because you got Portland, you have Golden State,
you got the
Clippers. You know, never sleep on San Antonio.
You got Memphis as well.
Memphis Grizzlies number 2 seed up in there, who will punch you in your mouth. Who's the toughest team in the NBA.
Very raw team.
As far as physicality? So it's the Wild Wild West, man. Anybody could come out that conference and represent the West in the NBA Finals. So it's, I don't know. And for a team that's inexperienced like the Golden State Warriors, listen, if they draw OKC in that first round, I'll be kind of scared.
All right, quick wrap up. You know, the All-Star Game was hosted in New York and Brooklyn, so let's give those teams a little bit of love.
Yes, sir.
Watch the future.
Yes, sir.
Between New York and Brooklyn. The training deadline is Thursday. Do you see any of those teams making any substantial moves?
I see Brook Lopez leaving. I see Brook Lopez getting traded. There's a couple of teams that's buying for his services, and it all depends what they get. They're not so thirsty on trying to get rid of him of Brook Lopez yet. They not, as I heard today on ESPN, they're not making calls. They're receiving calls. So I guess the sweetest deal they get offered, they'll push that button and send them out.
I think ultimately Brooklyn has to be blown away to unload either Darren Williams, Joe Johnson, or Brook Lopez.
No, they want to get
rid
of. They would want to get rid of Darren Williams' contract. He's so underachieved that contract, bro. He's such an underachiever with the amount of money that they gave him. Brooklyn wants to get rid of Darren Williams, but nobody would take on that contract because they see how he's playing right now. Brook Lopez is a hot commodity because
crown jewel for Brooklyn.
Also, yeah, crown jewel for Brooklyn. Great big man. There's a friendly contract nice contract to take in, you know, because it's not that expensive. I think how much he signed him for a couple of years ago? $70 million?
Yeah, close to 65 is a 4-year deal.
That's a very friendly deal for an organization. So I can see why he's a hot commodity. The only downfall is his injury prone. That's the only thing bad about him. And then the second player if they do get rid of Brook, the second one that they're trying to get rid of is Joe Johnson. But way too much money. And I don't see Joe Johnson leaving this year. Maybe next year, maybe off season, I see Joe Johnson leaving. Not right now.
Okay.
In this short amount of time, crunching numbers, because he's making way too much money. I think he's almost making $20 million this year.
There's a lot of teams who's not willing to take on that contract. Joe Johnson has got a lot of wear and tear in that body, and he's getting older and he's getting wiser.
But he still got treading
He still got a lot, but it's very doubtful whether there'll be any team that will be able to take care of the contracts. Mind you, everybody will love his service, but the contract will always be a question and will always scare off teams. The same thing with Darren Williams, who is on the third year of a $95 million deal.
Big Game Joe. He closes games.
Alright, that will do it for us. Alongside the shooter, Jimmy Azuero, I'm Eddie Castro. I'm going to go get my Levine on. We'll see you guys next week.
Latest.